Hey everyone, welcome to Analytics Corner here at Blue Abroad, the rivals, and today we're showcasing GWS. Now in 2019 GWS we know made the grand final, showcasing a brand of footy that was not only effective but also really easy on the eye. They showed some signs throughout the year as well that we haven't seen, a willingness to play ugly, a willingness to play scrappy and win at all costs. And also they had that free-flowing brand of aggressive footy that had no respect for the opposition and just really racked up the goals. The mid was hit by massive injuries throughout the year, and it allowed players like Taranto and Hopper and Tomlinson to a lesser extent to really pull through, with Hopper for me being the player of the finals series and really dominated in the absence of Coggy and Whitfield for large parts of the year. Not to mention there, Callum Ward, he went down very early. So with 2020 in store, let's see what they've got. Because there is that mantra around in the AFL, you have to lose a final to win one. Now, they recruited in the trade period Sam Jacobs. Now, one thing last year showed is they didn't have a dominant ruckman. Sean Mumford, for me, is a throwback to yesteryear, and he was found wanting when he came against the current croft of these athletic beasts in the ruck world. Your Grundys, your Gorns, Rowan Marshall, Riley O'Brien. And Jacobs, for me, when he's fit, he's more than capable of keeping up with these guys. Has another foil to his bow as well, like a lot of these modern day ruckmen now, where he's got exceptional aerial craft. So you could see him play that Gorn type where he slots in that hole between defence and midfield and just looking for that intercept mark to stop quick transition and quick entries inside 50. For me, it will be a stopgap, and I'd imagine that Cameron and his team will be working very hard to find either a ruckman in their own ranks or go out and find one that just complements that game, because this 6-6-6 rule has shown that ruckcraft now is becoming more and more important. Now in the draft, as always, GWS for me just recruits so well. I know they get lots of picks, and there's that story from rival fans of, oh, they can't make mistakes. But it is proven when you have a lot of picks, it's hard to find gems just as much in the top 20 as it is anywhere else in the draft. And for me, Lachlan Ash, their first pickup, absolute gun player, quick, he accumulates. And mark my words, he'll have sure spot by the end of the year. He's a real exciting product and has everything you need nowadays to make your team a top contender. We know the game is transition heavy and attack starts from the halfback flank. And with him and Williams, it poses a huge problem for any team moving forward, because both of them are very top players. Tom Green keeps the GWS tradition of picking inside mids, but he is a beast of a player. There's always one player for me out in the top 50 who come in that can dominate in contests year one. Now Green is that guy. Brutal contested beast, good hands in traffic, loves the rough stuff, and he isn't shy on the scoreboard either. He's a classy user, and he has classy users around him, which just allows him to win ball for GWS. And he will feature for an AFL side in the next couple of years predominantly. Now with me saying that, with him being an inside specialist, and the reason I say for an AFL side, they can't keep possibly recruiting this talent and keeping them. It's impossible. And it's interesting, this recruitment says to me this guy will be a ready from day one type player. That maybe GWS see all these people, we know Hopper's coming up, players like of that ilk, means that maybe this is their plan to allow one of them to go. Riccardi is another one. He's an obvious draft slider for me. Although he is a key position forward, which they already have three of, he is a precocious talent, and he allows Cameron to develop this kid. Strong in the air, very mobile, very modern. It gives them options moving forward. And like they've done most years in the draft, they've made hay with their talent if they have got rid of it. So for me, GWS is that conveyor belt of talent, and they are really the benchmark of how you stay in the top 8 using the draft system. Tom Hutchinson's, he could be anything, a mature age player from the Sandful, plays across the mid and the half forward. Could be a dark horse at GWS. When he's surrounded by that type of similar type talent, with him being 23, statistics show that they do develop a lot quicker at that age when they come from the state system. Could definitely be one that I'll be keeping an eye on, and someone that GWS should as well, the fans there. Now let's look at how the ins can affect the finalists of 2019. Everything suggests finals and flags when you look at GWS. Prime age, prime games as the medium for most of the AFL winners in the last decade. Most effective at clearances. They come out top for ground ball gets, ground ball percentage, clearances to advantage, top percentile for 1450 turnovers, effectiveness inside 50. These are all the hallmarks of flag winning sides. And it starts for me at the back. Phil Davis, Although injured and was poor in the final, he is a beast down back. He will lock up anyone in the comp, really sets up play in transition, isn't afraid to attack the ball. And that is something that is really key to this backline. Haynes, Williams, Shaw, and then you've got the argument Core or Perryman, who are perfect third men down the back. They allow intercept marks to be taken, allowed to keep the forward line that's against them honest. They really do set up the play for the midfield there. You've got classy users, pace, everything you look for. Maybe it's one stigma people say is it's not the tallest, but I mean, what it lacks in height, it makes up for in just immense talent. When you look at the midfield, it is stacked. And it's as stacked as like a super coach side, really. I mean, De Boer was sensational one-on-one, kept some of the top players to little touches, did jobs on just about everyone in the comp. And he allows the good players, like for me, a tagger allows good players to play football. Kelly, Whitfield, they run rampant. Hopper, Taranto are becoming a fearsome combination, winning tough ball and using it so well, getting it on the outside to players like Whitfield to run hard. It's a tough midfield to match up on. You throw in a ruckman now who plays a more positive brand, more mobile movement play style. It's going to be very, very tough to beat. And they're so efficient at getting the ball in the forward line. The forward line, that has so much going for it. Cameron, for me, on his day, is the best at what he does in the comp. He racks up ball, he brings other players into it. He's purely unselfish, but he has that button where he can be selfish when he wants. Strong in the air, and he's a tough matchup. Not many people can lock him down as last year showed. Tom Green, love him or hate him, his tenacious firecracker brand of footy just gets results. It draws and lures defenders off their man onto him. He's just like Jordan was in his day, like Kobe Bryant was in the basketball. He forces people towards him because you know he can do something, and it creates space for players like Finlayson, Himmelberg to just do their thing. And when you've got Coggy on the half-forward line rotating with Whitfield, rotating with Kelly, this guy uses the ball so well. Coggy is one of my favourite players to watch. He broke my heart when he re-signed with you guys. Like, it's got everything you want. For me, he's one of the most complete midfielders in the comp. Goal-kicking midfielders are rare as rocking horse poo, and the fact they can afford to play him on the half-forward flank with the depth of talent they've got, it's just a testament to how good this side is. There's a plethora of talent you can pick as well on the interchange bench. Sam Reid, for me, gets better every year. Daniels and co, they do a wonderful job. Caldwell showed a lot in the games he played last year, and the fact you also throw in the name of Callum Ward will return at some point. Great squad, very talented. One of the most talented squads for me at its age in the comp. So I've talked hardly about them. How do you beat them? Is it all doom and gloom for who if you draw this side? Well, I mean, it's tough. They do rank so high across the board in the numbers that you look for flag winning and successful sides. But the major one for me is that GWS are like Jekyll and Hyde. That they can be unstoppable one week and then the next week play like Pakenham fourths. I mean, the one thing that was telling in their defeats is that if you get a jump on them, they do find it hard to really stay with teams. They kind of get caught in the moment. And it's telling in their defeats that they were susceptible to downing tools and not sticking to the game plan. It was almost like shifts in game plans didn't really work instantly, and teams took advantage of that. Cameron has shown he's willing to roll the dice, make a change to the game style, but teams that had success forced them to kick from deep, forced them to make that long kick, forced them to play down the wing on one-on-one contests. And it's not allowing them to play that work it with methodical picking at your defence with handballs and short kicks that allow them to be caught vulnerable. They do play a high defensive line, so quick overball the tops and a slowish, sluggish backline at times can cause them issues. But other than that, it's hard to beat. In summary, I expect them to play finals again, and they will be one of the names that I would look out for, looking for someone to win the flag. If they all stay fit, they'll be a tough side to beat because they will have learnt so much from that finals day series. My one to watch this year is Tim Taranto. For me, he was good last year, but I think he'll step up and dominate and really catapult himself into the names of like Cripper and Fife. And for me, there's a lot about Fife in Taranto. He's tough. He's got no real weakness in his game. He gives you a 7 out of 10 every week. He doesn't flux like a lot of players do. He's not in and out of games. One of my favourite players to watch. I think he's got all the tools for me. And I think his name will start to be in the reckoning. I love Taranto, and I think he'll start to really just elevate his game. As always, I wish GWS all the luck in the world, except when you play the mighty Blue Boys, of course. think you'll be really, really strong this year, and I love watching GWS play. I've got to say, it's one of my favourite teams to watch other than Carlton. As always, everyone, stay navy blue, and I'll see you next time.